You are one of the luckiest people in the world right now because you are watching my first ever YouTube video. And in years to come, when I've got 1 million subscribers and my face is painted all over the place, you can say, I saw that idiot in his first ever video and only had 2 views, and now he's super famous. And I'm going to bring you along with me, don't worry. I digress. Thank you for being here and for showing an interest. Today, I want to address a big topic around dopamine, which is obviously a huge buzzword these days, and it seems to be at the very epicenter of whenever we discuss things like productivity, focus, or even emotional regulation. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine is all we ever hear. And surrounding dopamine and the modern understanding of it, we often talk about something called the dopamine hole, which very simply is just when our dopamine is not regulated. And with modern infrastructure, with things like gaming, gambling, Netflix, our food consumption, we just get stuck in this dopamine loop where our brain is getting rewarded with dopamine at the wrong times without actually putting anything into it first, which is not very good. And effectively, these things that people are monetizing off are keeping us almost paralyzed from lives that we should be living. Dopamine is one of the best things in your body. It's literally the chemical your body releases to get up and go, to do things, to adventure, to be productive. So, what's come up in this video? 3 things. First of all, we're going to look at the why. Why did you get stuck in a dopamine loop? Number 2, we're going to look at your emergency fix. So when you're stuck in a dopamine loop or dopamine hole, what's the quickest way to get out of it? And number 3, and the most important out of all of them, and something that we do not talk about enough, is the fix, the real fix, and how to stay out of that hole. Looking at the underlying issues so that you can fix it and stop going back in. So I highly recommend you stay to the end because that is the last point that we'll cover, and it's the one that will be the most beneficial to you. And hopefully it's something that you can use daily moving forward for the rest of your life. So, number 1, why do we get into a dopamine hole? Well, it's important to understand that we don't fall into it, we actually climb. And we're usually climbing into it because we're trying to avoid a feeling or avoiding things that we know we should be doing, but are probably a little bit uncomfortable. And so when you pick up your phone and you're going into this dopamine hole, you're not actually looking for pleasure, you're looking to numb and distract yourself from the things that you're meant to be doing, as I just mentioned. And once you're down there, it's designed to keep you down there. The people who design the algorithms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, gambling websites, they are paid on your attention. They are paid on you staying there for as long as possible. And the teams that build these products are the top psychologists from the top universities in the world, handpicked from the top courses, and a whole team of them as well. So you are already fighting a losing battle. All this to say is your phone isn't the problem. It's just a painkiller to your life. And you don't fix the problem by taking more painkillers or by snapping painkillers in half. You'll go to a physio and you'll fix the underlying issue. And to give you a little bit of transparency, this is actually something I have an enormous amount of experience with. And it's something that I don't think you can really understand until you're out the other side of it. I got out the other side due to things that happened in my life. And I look back and realized that all the things I was doing, the gaming, the drugs, the gambling, the doom scrolling on my phone, was all to try fix the gap in my life. And it was just a desperate attempt to distract myself from the things that I needed to be doing. So you may understand what I'm saying, but you're never really going to fully comprehend it until you take the steps and get out the other side and look back and go, wow, that really was what I was trying to do. One thing I want to leave you on before we go on to the 2-minute climb out is, isn't it absurd that we can't even go for 10 minutes to the loo and sit on our own without needing the distraction of our phone? That's how bad it's got. And I want you to think about what kind of implications you think that might have on the rest of your life. It might not seem bad on just one occasion, but if we start building these habits, what else are we going to numb ourselves from? Point number 2, and something I don't always really want to talk about because I don't want you to take shortcuts into fixing these things, but it is good to know what a good emergency fix is for when we are stuck in the dopamine hole by doom scrolling and or getting stuck doing things that we're numbing ourselves from. How do we stop that immediately in that moment? And very simply, we need 3 things. First of all, move before you think. You can't fix a fried brain with a fried brain. So your door to fixing the brain is through your body. Literally doesn't need anything more complicated than 60 seconds of either jumping up and down on the spot, 15 press ups, a couple of squats, anything worth 60 seconds of movement will do it for you. You might start doing it and feel absolutely ridiculous, waving your arms about, jumping around your kitchen. Yeah, nobody's watching and it really works. So stop being a pussy and get on with it. And I like in this process, you're not putting fuel into the car, you're literally jump starting a dead battery. And the second thing we need is we need to bank a visible win. We've now jump started the battery, we're now feeling a little bit better, we're moving around, we've sparked a little bit of energy. And so now we need to do something to build up momentum and spend the next minute doing something that will make you feel better. Making your bed, drinking a glass of water, eating a bit of fruit, washing just one plate. It really, really doesn't need to be anything that productive. It just needs to be something where you go, okay, your body's moving, your brain's now getting into gear. Yes, I'm doing something, this is great. And the third thing we need to do is we need to tick off one thing from this big list that got us in the dopamine hole in the first place. Not the whole list, just the first thing. So you need to pick the smallest thing on that list and spend the next 10 minutes doing it. The fastest and easiest way to get yourself back in the hole and want to climb back in is by trying to do it all at once. We've moved, we've got a small win, our body's feeling good, our brain's a little bit more switched on, and once we've completed these three things, we should be completely in tune and ready to take on a little bit more. I was going to create an acronym for this 3-step process. Every single fucking prick online creates their own acronyms, and I think they're seriously wanky, and to be honest, not many of them make sense. And before I get into the actual fix, I want to explain why this emergency fix that we just done doesn't fix things in the long term. Because yes, it can make you feel good, and then you build a bit of momentum, and you just have a good couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, feeling really great on top of things, and then Friday you slip straight back into the same old pattern. And instead of actually progressing and developing, all you're doing is basically building a better ladder to climbing out. But you're still climbing in the first place, and we just don't want to do that. And one of the biggest underlying problems is that when we get ourselves out of the hole and we start building a bit of momentum, we kind of look at that as the end goal. You start convincing your brain that you're feeling fine now, and you're feeling a lot better. And that little space is so dangerous because your brain starts switching off and it stops wanting to build on that momentum, which is actually what we want to start pushing onto. And that's why sometimes someone can completely break their leg and be back playing sport quicker than someone who gets a niggly little injury in their knee. And it's not bad enough to do anything about it because they can walk around, they can do things, but they're always in a lot of discomfort and pain. It's not good enough to play football or a bit of tennis, but it's good enough to walk around. The person who broke their leg will be back playing football before the person with the niggly knee because there's less impetus to get on and fix it. That feeling of getting out of the dopamine hole and feeling fine is very much just like having a niggly knee. It's still there, it's present, it stops you from doing the other cool stuff, but it's not bad enough to go and get surgery. I think that makes it far more dangerous, and you should go get the surgery anyway. And a quick little note before I get into the actual fix and give you some actionable steps how to fix the underlying issue. I decided, and just because it makes me feel good, I love giving back to the community, I give away one free slot of one-to-one coaching every month. And the way I do it is by setting up a raffle. So if you want to apply to be in that raffle, it's the first day of every month that I roll it. You just need to follow the link in the bio and you can select and you can just put your name, your email, and maybe give me a little bit of information about who you are and what you're working on at the moment. And then it'll be randomly selected on the first of each month. And then I'll email you if you want. So if you think you can really benefit from a bit of one-to-one time, some fully focused deep dive on your individual problems, then give it a go and we can have a bit of fun. So the actual fix, the distraction, what are we trying to numb ourselves from? This is the real issue. I want you to imagine what kind of situations that you love to doom scroll in. What things are you trying to avoid? You're late for work, you've got something important you need to do and you find it very uncomfortable, Imagine it's the morning that you get to wake up and you're off on a holiday that you're very much looking forward to with all your friends. Imagine it's game day and you get to go play football. Or imagine you're a child and you're waking up for Christmas morning. These things are all fundamentally things that we love. And if you're in any one of these situations, you will not feel the desire to pick up your phone and doom scroll. You'll be so excited about doing the actual thing that you just won't have the urge to go on your phone. This clearly indicates that we have the ability to not reach for our phone immediately. And I want you to see your attention like an auction. Everything is bidding for it. We've got the sofa, we've got your phone, we've got your PlayStation, we've got alcohol, we've got drugs, we've got gambling. They're all wanting your attention. They all love it and they're all putting in bids. So we need to find something that will bid even harder, like the Christmas day for a child, like the holiday with all your friends, like a game of football. The things that you fundamentally love that you just want to do more than scrolling. So if you're trying to fix this problem of doom scrolling and numbing yourself, stop trying to restrict yourself and stop trying to police your time on the phone and beating yourself up and saying, come on, you can do better than this. I don't want to go on my phone anymore. And you buy app blockers and stuff. You need to put all your focus on finding things within your life that you'd rather be doing. You need to fill your time with things that you genuinely love doing. And I will caveat this with, if you genuinely believe that spending time on your phone and doom scrolling is the very best way that you could be spending your time, then do it. Nobody is stopping you. And if you really believe that that's what you should be doing, then do it. And you have one life and it is your choice and your responsibility to act in those ways. But if you are stuck in this loop and you are wanting help and you do want to fill it with things, the energy should be going on defining things that just make you not want to go on your phone. And I started my business up a year ago, and I've now got to the stage where I love my job so much that I just don't go on my phone during the day. Yeah, I love going on it at the end of the evening, play a bit of Clash of Clans, scroll my Instagram, seeing what my friends are up to. I really do enjoy going on it sometimes. I feel connected to people through it, and yeah, I think it's a really good tool sometimes. But I used to go on it like 8-9 hours a day, and that's because I hated my job. I didn't like where my life was going. I knew that I needed to work hard and persevere, and all these things were just getting way too much for me. And now I fill my life with my business, going to the gym. I've fallen back in love with my sport, which on any day that I'm playing football, paddle, boxing, like, there is no desire in the back of my mind to pick up my phone. I just don't even think about it. I've filled my life with things that I love doing so much that the phone just isn't a priority. So yes, put your energy into finding the things that you'd rather be doing with your phone. That will fix the loop. Sometimes it's easier said than done. And so if you want help finding what those things are, feel free to comment and give me a bit of your background and I can try point you in the right direction. I think a great place to start is with movement. Any form of exercise, the gym, getting stronger and fitter is such a nice way to be feeling better about yourself. Or if you don't like the gym, you can find other ways of movement. You can go running, dancing. I couldn't recommend playing competitive sports more highly, but as ever, the goal with all of this should be with enjoyment. If you're not enjoying the gym, don't go to the gym. If you're not enjoying the running, stop forcing yourself. If you don't like playing tennis, then don't play tennis. But there will be things out there that you enjoy doing more than your phone, and you need to find them. So to reiterate what we've gone through, you weren't broken in the first place. Your life is just not full of things that you'd rather be doing. And actually, that's very good news, because an empty life is a lot easier to fix than a broken brain. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then YouTube recommends that you should click onto this one. But I'd recommend you go offline and step outside and try and find those things that you enjoy. And lastly, if you'd rather not do it alone, remember the link to my raffle for the free one-to-one coaching is down below. So sign up to that and hopefully you win, and I look forward to getting to know you.